Welcome to another session on the exclusive Blackwell indicators this time. My name is Malte Kaup and I'm joined by professional trader Paul Wallace.
Hello Malte, hello traders.
Good to have you here, Paul, today. Before we go through the indicators, as we're quite explicit, right, and they are obviously based on the charts and price action, let's go through the risk disclaimer. Forex and CFDs are leveraged products and involve a high level of risk and can result in the loss of all your invested capital. Therefore, Forex and CFDs may not be suitable for all investors. You should not risk more than you are prepared to lose. Before deciding to trade, please ensure you understand the risks involved and take into account your level of experience. Seek independent advice if necessary. We do not warrant the effectiveness of these indicators. You use them at your own risk. Right, with this really important risk disclaimer out of the way, let's have a look what we have in store for you today. And with Paul's help, we will review each of the indicators. So what Blackwell has done is they've added a series of indicators to their MT4 platform, and these indicators are exclusive to Blackwell. You can't find them anywhere else, and you can't use them with another MetaTrader platform. And they are aligned with really well-known popular trading concepts and primarily should enable traders to screen the market, or in other words to say, we help traders identify the setups in real time. And it's went down to the trader to customize the settings in a way that they work well with the financial instrument that you're trading, be it a certain currency pair or something else. And they are a really fantastic addition to the suite of MetaTrader 4 indicators. So that's what I know about them. So I've heard a lot about kind of the news that they have been released now. And Paul, really excited to have you here to talk about how to use them in the strategies.
Yeah, super Malte. What we'll do is if you'll just bear with us, we'll sort of switch across to the MetaTrader 4 platform from Blackwell Global, and what we'll do is we'll talk about how you can set it up and how you can put each of these first four indicators into a chart, what it actually is showing you, and we'll have a little talk about where and how you could actually how you could use them. So as I said, if you just bear with us a second, we'll switch across to the MetaTrader platform, and hopefully you can still all see us here. So it's just a standard MetaTrader 4 platform. As I'm sure most of you will be aware of it. For those of you who are just new to trading, the chart I have up there is just a very quickly and briefly, it's a euro against US dollar weekly chart, and effectively what I have is white candles are bullish, black candles are bearish. There's a blue 20, a red 50, and a green 200 period moving average are on there. So it's just a simple representation there. And what we'll do is we'll talk about one of the first indicators that we're here to use, and that's called the change percentage. So if for those of you who are new, you'll have downloaded these indicators into the platform, and if you have any challenges or issue with that, then be sure to get in touch with your account representative at Blackwell Global, and they'll be very happy to ensure that they're fully set up and ready to use by yourself. But under the navigator panel, you'll see if you scroll down, you'll scroll down to indicators, and of course there's a lot of very standard indicators that MetaTrader 4 comes with. There's a plethora of various indicators, but today what we're going to start to look with is the change percent. So as you can see by the name there, it's change percent V2, and one of the great things about MetaTrader is you're just able to pick it up and just drag and drop it in. Okay, so in terms of the to begin with, okay, in terms of inputs and colors, we no need to touch that right this moment, but what we always ensure is to make sure that you allow the DLL import. So make sure you click on that. You can see that it's got its name, change percent V2 Blackwell Global, and as Malte mentioned, these are for Blackwell Global clients. You won't be able to use these on any other MetaTrader platform. So you'll get full support here with using them on the Blackwell Global MT4. So with that in mind, what we'll do is we'll just hopefully click in, and there we go. You can start to see it now. What does that actually mean? The change percentage. So This indicator allows the trader to specify a specific look back period. So in this particular case, it's the last 20 bars, and it will highlight the percentage movement from the price at that start point towards the current price. And what you'll see up here in the sort of the top left hand corner of the screen is the actual, let's say the look back period. So as you can say here, it says 20 bars, and invariably what has been the change. So in this particular case, on the euro dollar daily, of the last 20 daily bars, we've seen an increase, a growth of just what we're looking at there, 4.58%. If I'll just scroll to it there. So what we're able to look at, as I said, you're looking at the last 20 bars, and now you can see for yourself that there's been a real strong uptrend in that euro dollar daily, and we can actually very clearly see that it's putting that sort of just over 4.5% increase.
That's great. And if I would be, let's say, interested in the change in percentage from the last day, could I customize the indicator in a way? Let's say we could go to a 1 hour chart and just go rolling 24 hours back. Is that possible?
Yeah, that's what we can look at is as I said, this is on the daily, but if we shoot down to the hourly, okay, what we can see is that it will reflect the time frame that you're looking at the moment. So we can see that for the last 20 bars, there's actually only been a sort of a point just under 0.3% of a change, and actually by looking at the chart itself, you can see that euro dollar there for the majority of that last day just pretty much went sideways. So it's just it's giving you a quick bit of insights there.
All right, that's interesting. And just a side comment for everybody who's watching this right now, as we're going through a lot of content. We probably won't be able to pick up on all the questions coming through, but still, if you want to ask questions, use the chat functionality provided, and I'm sure the support staff, a very knowledgeable staff from Blackwell, very happy to answer any question you may have. And just to reflect on this for a second, I think what comes to mind is when you think about it's a measure of volatility, isn't it, in a specified time frame. And what I find is quite interesting about this is previously we maybe would have looked more at an ATR to look at how much pips up and down we've gone.
That's correct.
And to understand what's the daily volatility or whatever period we're looking at. Here, that is looking at percentage, which could be actually an interesting addition to a trading strategy to understand if we have enough or not enough volatility to get into the market.
Absolutely, absolutely right. It's just another indicator of that volatility, and invariably, if you're going to look at a chart, you're going to get perhaps an indication. You can probably read the fact that that over that particular period, if we go back to that daily, you can go look back to the period. You can see that euro dollar has been in a strong uptrend, but being able to put it into a real specific context that we've had 4.5% increase in euro dollar over the last 20 bars, which effectively is the last 20 days, last almost like trading month, so to speak. That starts to give you a very clear, insightful data that you can actually use to see how far we've moved in terms of volatility in that particular instrument.
Okay, brilliant. Could I just ask one general question, probably that applies to all indicators? If I want to change any of the settings, could you give us an idea on how can we do that? I think Control I also brings a menu of indicators that have been attached to the chart, and
there we go. So Control I, or you can really change most things in MetaTrader 4 by right-clicking on a particular chart.
Yeah.
But there we can see the change percent, all right, and then we can edit, and as you can see that the number of the bars back here we've been looking at is 20, but that allows us to basically to amend that. Perhaps there's something specifically you want to look at over the last over the last week or so, or maybe over a longer period, and be able to input that and work upon that. So you have that to use and to work with and to amend to your own particular need. One last little pointer I would just make is that just so you know, if you're not sure if the indicator is on the platform, if it's actually working well, whenever you drag the indicator onto the chart, what you'll see come up in the top left-hand corner is a risk warning, just to say that you use these indicators at your own risk, and that trading forex and CFDs is high risk. And for more details, please read the risk disclosure on our website. So it's making you aware of that, but it's also it's a sign that actually the actual indicator is on there and working well.
Brilliant. That's interesting. I heard of one with a very exciting name, Shake and Bake.
Yeah, shake and bake. Okay, let's go to a different chart there, and let's take the shake and bake in there. Okay, as always, like any of the indicators, we can find it in the navigator panel. You pick it up there, and we can sort of drag and drop in. As I said, not really any need to make any difference with the inputs, but we like to make sure that we've got the allowed DLL import selected. So and then we can look at the shake and bake itself. So there's for those of us of a certain perhaps a certain age or a certain demographic or a certain geographical location, that shake and bake was really all about it was actually kind of a simple cookery piece from the UK and Australia, and invariably the whole idea was that it was a very simple way to cook your dinner. And in this indicator, what we're looking at here is the shake and bake, is that it's just a simple pattern that we're looking at to see what give us an idea of what's possibly out there to trade or to utilize for our own trading decisions. So the pattern, how does that pattern start? Well, the pattern starts with a tall white candle that sets off the pattern. Then we're looking for the next candle to be a small black candle which has a higher close. The third candle is small and can be either white or black. It can be either bullish or bearish. And the fourth candle is a small black candle. All right. Candle 2, 3, and 4 are we're in a downtrend when below the 50 period moving average is below the 200 period, and then candle 5 is a long white candle that closes above the high of the previous 4 candles. Right. Are you happy with that? Can you see how that can set up there? We're looking at one here.
Yeah, no, I can see how that shakes and bakes, right? So we're moving up, and then we're kind of shaking it out, and then we're breaking up to the upside again. Is that right?
Yeah. What we've been looking at there is that we're ideally in a downtrend here, and what we're seeing is like first candle is a tall white candle. Okay, so if you just think about that in the psychology, basically we've had a bullish close.
Yeah.
The next candle is a small black candle, so it's going to be a bearish candle,
yep.
But we still have a higher close, okay, than the let's say the preceding low of the day before,
right.
And so the third candle and the fourth candle carry on in that particular instance as well. So what you're seeing is that you've been giving an indication of almost like a sort of a pullback within a particular downtrend.
Right. Interesting, yeah. Interesting way to apply a filter from that perspective. Let's move on the gap today.
Okay. Let's move on and have a look. We'll look at a different chart, pull that in. So we've got the pound against the US dollar on the daily, but it doesn't really matter particularly what actual instrument it is. It's just taking out any old particular chart to work on. As always, go to the navigator panel under the indicators, be able to just click and drop and drag in there. Just make sure we allow our DLL imports. The inputs are there. That could be changed if you wish to, but there's not really any call to at this particular moment. And there we go. It's set up, and we know it's live on it because we have as always you have up in the top left. You can use this indicator at your own particular risk. Okay, so some of these ones is effectively looking at as the name implies, so sort of looking for a particular gap. So sometimes that doesn't always happen within a particular FX market. Okay, but what you're looking at is a representation of two tall white candles in an uptrend where we have the 50 period above the 200 period moving average, and that's what begins the pattern. All right. Then we have a gap between the first two candles and the last candle, which is a black bearish candle, and that then becomes filled to complete the pattern. So, like any particular gap trading that we were expecting to see a momentum into a close, then we'll see a gap. And then we're expecting to see an opportunity to reverse. What we know about gaps is that an overall arch is, nature abhors a vacuum, and whenever there is a vacuum, it will always look to fill it. And in financial markets, when we see a gap in financial markets, well, that's when we will look to fill and trade in the direction of that particular gap. So
right.
We don't see any particular on this on the particular pound against the dollar that meet that particular requirement. But one of the elements about this is that actually helping you sort of instill a little bit of discipline in your trade plan, namely by that if there's no particular signal sets up, well, it's quite clearly if there's no signal, there's no trade.
Right. I think the last big gap I've seen in currencies was probably after the election in the UK, right, where the GBP USD gapped down quite considerably.
Yeah,
which would be an extreme example, but I suppose this is also something we may want to have a look at more in the context of stock indices, where we probably have a bit more of a gap scenario going on.
Absolutely. If we were to look at perhaps one of the sort of American indexes, where you're more likely to see particular gaps, rather than on on some of the FX indices. You're absolutely right. We have seen some particular gaps in sterling, and also in the euro as well, with regards to the post French elections.
Yeah.
But what we're looking at there is the more gaps happen and occur on actual equity indices rather than on the FX markets themselves.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I think gaps in general quite popular with traders now. Also from a currency perspective, a lot of traders now talking about kind of a weekend gaps, being fairly reliable, without providing any trading advice here, but fairly reliable opportunities for trader to look for trading signals. So you don't get a million signals, right? But the ones you get are typically quite strong. So interesting that we focus with an indicator on the gaps. Maybe for this session, the last indicator I want to have a look at is we called the Rarity indicator. So what do you have in store for me here?
There we go. Let's have a look at a new chart, and we'll go and find it brought in. But as the name implies, the Rarity is a rare particular candle pattern that sets up, or a particular price action pattern. So we'll just, as always, drag in and place in there, and we're looking at the monthly charts there. But really, what you're looking at is the Rarity candle. It normally starts with it's made up of 4 black candles. Okay, 4 bearish candles. The first two are black, what they call Marabuzu candles. Right. For those of you who've never heard that, a Marabuzu candle is just it's just a way of describing a very strong close to that particular candle, and that could be either for on the bullish or the bearish side. When you normally see a very strong candle with a very strong close, you'll hear often traders talk about that as being a Marabuzu candle. So once we've had those, then we're looking for a candle with effectively a tall upper shadow, and the last candle engulfs the previous candle, so including the shadow. So it's effectively a type of reversal pattern, and that we're looking to find on a particular chart. And that gives us an opportunity to trade a big reversal.
Sounds to me like we added a couple of conditions on top of an engulfing candle pattern, right?
That's right. What you're looking for, if you think about it, the psychology of it, you're looking at a real strong sort of bearish move to the downside, that is effectively ended by a rather large engulfing pattern.
And we can probably turn it on its head. The fact that we don't see anything in the Euro GBP right now tells us that we are just looking at this pattern and not getting a strong reversal signal, right?
That's correct.
In one or the other direction.
That's correct, yeah. So it is, as the name implies, it's a very, very rare pattern, okay? And it's not something that you'd expect to see every day or every week, but it's something that when you do see it is worth actually taking note of, and it'll provide you with an opportunity.
Brilliant. Let me just summarize, Paul, and thanks for giving us that insight. So first of all, where do you get the indicators from? You get them from Blackwell, and you can import them into your MetaTrader. And if you have any questions how to do that, the support people from Blackwell will be very happy to help you with that.
Absolutely.
Once they're there, they should appear in the navigator window, and by clicking, dragging and dropping them onto an active chart and allowing for DLL imports, these indicators turn active. And 4 of the indicators that you walked us through are, first was the change percentage, where we look at a kind of a recent price change, the shake and bake pattern, the gap today that we just talked about, and the rarity indicator, where we look at a potential reversal pattern, but as the name indicates, that doesn't happen very often.
That's correct, yeah.
Brilliant, thank you very much. We will definitely come back for another session on the other 4 indicators that have been made exclusively available for Blackwell clients. So thank you very much, and look forward to the next session.
Thank you, Malte.
I'm going to stop it there.